All right, I think we should be live. All right, give me a wave if you can see me or hear me. Put in a 5 if you can't be on camera. I would love to know as well. Welcome, everybody. And if you are watching this on replay, put in the comments hashtag replay so we know you're here and our leaders can say hi as well. But welcome, everybody. This is Fast Start. What Fast Start training is the fundamentals. So we go over onboarding and launch for all the brand new people. And I know we have all types of people on the call. Some of you are brand spanking new. How many of you put a 1 in the chat if you're like a month old, less than a month old in the business? And put in a 2 in the chat if you're like less than 3 months old in the business, right? I see a lot of you that are brand new. And so I'm so excited that you are here. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Becky Zheng. I'm the co-founder of the Warrior Movement, and we are so excited you're here because we really created this training, and we do this every single week on Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And the reason we do this is because we want a touch point, a real-time touch point for you to help you launch your business. And a little background about me, for those of you who don't know, I've been in this industry for 15 years. I started when I was 20 years old, a broke college student. I was going to UC Berkeley, trying to be a doctor because I'm Asian. My mom used to be an oral surgeon in China. So I'm like, that's what I'm going to do, but I have no idea why. I got introduced to this beautiful industry because I just wanted to have a competitive edge because I felt like there's so much competition out there. And I just wanted some work experience, honestly. And the person that recruited me was actually a classmate of mine. And he was just like, hey, do you want some work experience for a health company? And I'm like, sure, I'm a health major, so let's do it. I have no idea what network marketing was, I have no business experience. And I will tell you, when I first met my mentor that talked to me about this business, my mind was so expanded because I was just like, wow, there's other ways to make money and build a life and make an impact than just become a doctor. Because to be honest, I wasn't really passionate about it. It was just because what everybody else told me I should be doing. And so since then, after we graduated from Berkeley, I did not go to corporate America. I did not apply for med school, did not, go the traditional path, and just kind of jumped all in network marketing. And you can imagine what my Asian parents thought I was. I lost my mind, right? They're like, wait, what? Like, we just spent all this money putting you through college and you're going to put your degree on the shelf and go sell vitamins. Like, what's wrong with you? Right? And long story short, and I'll tell you, this experience has been nothing short of just extraordinary for my personal growth, because I never knew there is another side besides the traditional path of, getting a stable job, working until you're 65 years old and hoping to retire. And I saw that in my mom because, she's, she used to be a medical doctor in China. She has a PhD and MD, and she doesn't know how she's going to retire. She worked decades, right? So, and then here I am, literally meeting mentors that are just a couple years older than me, like 23 years old, making multiple 6-figure income, and they're impacting literally like millions of people's lives. And I'm like, there has to be another way, right? And so that's what really attracted me to this industry. And I jumped on board full time right after I graduated. And the person that recruited me actually is James. So eventually we started dating and we ended up getting married, and now we're almost 9 years married and we're expecting our first baby in October. So it's really like our story really has been involved in this industry. And so for those of you who are brand new to this company and you're like, some of you have literally no experience in this industry. And you're like, I have no idea from my butt to my elbow what I'm doing. And that was me. Like, I had no business experience, right? Did not think I could make a sale. In fact, English wasn't even my first language. So I had to learn, right? I didn't have a lot of connections, a lot of skills. And all that, but every single skill in business is learnable. Everything is learnable, you know. And then there's also people on this line where you've had experience, right? You've joined multiple companies before, but something wasn't clicking. Like you just, no matter how hard you worked, no matter how much you tried, it just wasn't really worth the time, right? Like it's something was missing. And one of the things that we pride ourselves in the warrior movement is professional training for literally every single person. Like if you're willing, if you're hungry and you're coachable, as long as you don't quit, we'll provide all the resources. And I hope you feel the support and the love from the community, because that's one thing that we pride ourselves on is every single person that joined our family, despite your experience, your age, your background, your schedule, your connection level, your skill level, it doesn't matter where you're coming from. As long as you're willing, coachable, and hungry, and you follow the system, you will be successful here. And success is defined by you, right? Some people just want to make $500 a month. Some people just want to pay for their products. Some people want to make 6 figures and replace their job. Some people want to make 7 figures, right? So it really depends on you, but whatever your goal is, we can promise you that if you follow the system and you don't quit, you know, and you're willing to do the do, and you're coachable, you're willing to learn, you're real, and you know, like there's a reason why there's so many people that are succeeding here, right? So just having that open mind to trust the process, I guarantee you'll get the results that you want. And so today, what I'm going to go over is our onboarding process and our launch process. And just so you can kind of get an overhead view. Now, this is something that you're supposed to be doing like on your own because it's a 7-day launch, right? So we only have, you know, an hour to do it. But regardless if you've gone through it, I really want you to take notes on. So if you haven't gone through it, this is just kind of like an introduction, right? But if you have gone through it already, right, really take notes on the details, because a lot of times we go through something, but we don't retain 100% of what we read or heard, right? So what you want to do is repetition is the mother of skill, right? So it's really going to help you to make sure you don't miss the details, because like Jim Rohn says, right, that the legend in our industry, that half a dozen things make 80% of the difference in your life. So you want to make sure you're really paying attention, intentional with the details. And I'm also super excited because today I'm going to be interviewing 2 of our brand new teammates, super new in the business, okay, in our company, and they are launching right out of the gates. So I'm really excited to pick their brains as well, and just to, you know, have you guys hear from someone that is, you know, new to the business and what their mindset is. Okay, so, and also as I'm going through all this, feel free to drop in the chat if you have any questions. And this is an interactive. I want to make sure that this is, you know, serving you and it's worth your time. So feel free to drop it in the chat, and then I'll be happy to go over them. So let me know if you can see my screen right now. Give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. Okay, perfect. Thank you. So when you first get started in the business, or when you get a brand new customer, our onboarding link is this wellness360.community/start link. And this is something that your sponsor, whoever recruited you or whoever you know, brought you into the business, should have sent you. I'm putting it in the chat as well, so you can bookmark it and also show you where it is so you can reference it if you lose it. But this is the page that is to onboard people. Okay, so people that either purchase or have enrolled. And obviously, if they're a customer, they would select customer, and that will lead to the customer onboarding. And our customer onboarding, mainly our lead product is the skinny drops, right? The hormone balancing drops. So it talks mostly about the drops. Obviously, all of us here are brand partners. So you should have clicked on brand partner. And when you click on brand partner, it leads you to this brand partner onboarding page, and it's just /links. And this is the link that I highly recommend every single person to bookmark, because you're going to need to reference it back. Because even if you've done it already, think about the hundreds of people that's going to join your team. You're going to probably need to help them right? Some of them might have questions and they might ask you, well, how do I set up my smart link? You know, how do I set up my direct deposit? Like, what do I post? How do I respond? And you might have to reference this again. So then you know what they're looking at as well. Okay. So there is a welcome video right over here. Okay. And then exactly, Tammy, the hundreds of people that are going to be joining you, right? So we actually added here, like, save this page for future reference, right? So bookmark it, save it to somewhere, safe. And there's 5 steps to success. And so the first one is, I'm not going to go too much into detail, but I'll give you an overview so you kind of see like what's the purpose of everything. And there's also a short video in all of these steps, and they're super short, like 3 to 5 minutes. So it's not going to take too much time, but make sure you watch it, right? So watch the video. So number 1 is get plugged in. Why this is so important is because if you're not plugged in, you're kind of on your own, right? You can ask your support system, but you're depending on their availability, right? Or their knowledge base. So in order to duplicate and have a really, really huge organization, you want to make sure you're constantly referencing people back to the tool, right? So first step is getting plugged in so people know where everything is. There's 4 important communities or chat rooms that we have. Number 1 is our Telegram announcement channel. This is an announcement channel where literally you're not really talking in there. It's just announcements. Literally every single day we post the day before we post our schedule for the next day. And then we, on the day of, we also share the flyer, we share the link, the time, even a link for you to convert time zones, because we have a global team. So there's people that are in other parts of the world. We use PST, but if they're in EST or if they're in Australia or other parts of the world, there's a link that converts the time zone for them. And this is in Telegram, which is an app that you have to download. And then when you click on join, it would open that channel, the Warrior Movement announcement channel. And then the team support chat is also on Telegram. And this is the chat room where we ask a lot of questions. And this is going to be really helpful for you to really be able to duplicate and support your team. Because let's be honest, when I first started the business, I was a full-time UC Berkeley student. I was involved in multiple extracurricular activities at a part-time job. All of us here are busy, right? You might have kids and grandkids, a job, other businesses. You're not going to be glued to your phone 24/7. And so leveraging this team support chat is really going to help you to be able to leverage the whole community, right? So whoever is available and they see the question, and if they know the answer, they can help answer, right? So if you have a lot of people in there, then it helps them to get their answer a lot faster, right? So that's a team support chat. These are, again, on Telegram. And I know that a lot of people don't use Telegram. So this is really important. And we intentionally put our chat in Telegram because we know you're all are busy on Facebook, Instagram, your text messages, talking to prospects, and you have team chats, right? Specific team chats. There's a lot of chats going on. So we kind of want this to be separate, where you don't have to be checking 24/7. But hey, if you have a question, go to Telegram and ask that, right? Once a day, check the announcement channel so you know what events are happening, right? So that's kind of like the idea of it, and that's the intention, because we don't want it to be confused with, let's say if you're talking to 20 of your teammates or prospects on Facebook Messenger, or you have your own team chat there, the team support chat's going to be buried and you won't be able to find it easily, right? So that's why we have it on a different platform that people don't use, but it also means a lot of people forget to check it, right? So there's pros and cons. So just what I do is I put my Telegram icon app literally on the front page of my phone, right next to my text message and Messenger. And I just check, you can just check once a day or whenever you need it, right? So we also have 2 Facebook communities. One is for business, that is just brand partners only. That's our Warrior Movement Facebook. And then Wellness 360 is our prospect facing customer, everybody community. So Wellness 360, you can add everybody. Business community is for enrolled brand partner only. So that's kind of like our training group and our community where we celebrate a lot of business success. Okay, so that's the 4 main groups. And I want to go over quickly our event schedule, because we made a little bit of shifts, and also I want to make sure everyone knows what the purpose of each event is so that you can properly leverage it. So we're at a point in our organization where there's a lot of teams that are just exploding, and you all have incredible leaders that are leading your teams as well. So what we don't want is to have a super packed schedule where all you feel like you're doing is being on calls and you have no time to connect with your team and you have no time to actually build your business, right? So we're kind of like restructuring and shaving down the most important day. So then you have opportunities to maybe if you want to do a home party, or maybe if you want to do a Facebook Live, or maybe you want to do a specific team call with your leaders and things like that. So we want to leave those opportunities to be able to do that. So Saturday is our most important training of the week. And this is a week where our team all comes together, and it's our academy at 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And this one where we focus on a lot is the 10 and 2 strategy, and how do you actually build a 6-figure income in 6 months. And so this is where we celebrate a lot of success, and we have more, training tips and strategies and major announcements. So this is the most important training. So if you can't make anything else throughout the week, maybe because of work and whatnot, yeah, this is the one I highly recommend because it's best for duplication, right? We also have all of our events on replay. So if you ever can't make anything, it's totally fine to just watch the replay. Saturday is something that we recommend to attend live as much as possible, just for duplication purpose, because when your team sees that you're showing up, they realize the importance of it too, and they tend to show up too, right? So if you're engaged and you're, taking notes and you're, active in the chat and you're, answering questions, people are like, your team will see that, right? And whatever you do, your team will tend to duplicate. So highly recommend, if time permits, academy to prioritize. And Monday is we have currently temporarily a manager Monday. So this is actually our drive to our convention call with also the Revolution Partners Group. And that is, the purpose of it is because at PXP, our biggest convention in September, we have recognition, and the title that you need to hit is a manager title. Manager also unlocks the entire compensation plan. So we're doing a 3-month run to PXP. So every Monday at 10 in the morning, we do a Manager Monday call where we share a lot of success stories and tips, and also teach people how to get promoted to manager. This is a brand partner call as well. We have just, I believe, 3 more left until our biggest, or I think 4 more left until our biggest event. So this is like a kind of like a campaign focus call right now. We also have a mastermind. This is for people that qualify for 10 and 2. We'll talk more about that on Saturday. And then at 6 p.m., Corporate North America does a corporate update call. They do a recognition call once a month, and then they do a leadership call and an update call. Basically every Monday at that time, they have different guest speakers, and it's hosted by our general manager, Christine McKay. So that's a corporate update. Whereas if you want to know what the rest of North America is doing, this is a great call to plug in as well. Tuesdays, you are here right before this call. So right now we're at fast start. Right before this, we have a power hour that's led by Cindy and Lindsay and Angel. They do an hour, literally just working session. So everything we're going to talk about in the launch week, they're going to be doing it with you. So if you want a working hour, if you feel like you need some accountability or maybe some questions that you want them to answer, feel free to plug that one in as well. So that's on Tuesdays, and these are all brand partner focused. And then Wednesday, we have one a week, a prospecting facing live call that we do on the products and opportunity. And this one, we moved it to 5 p.m. It used to be 6 because we have a lot of East Coasters now. So we don't want it to be like, bedtime for them when they have to invite their prospect. So we moved it up an hour early to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And again, all these announcements are daily posted in the Worry Movement, so you don't have to memorize it. Okay. What I recommend is just put it on your calendar, but also check the Worry Movement announcement channel. Right. Tomorrow, we won't have one actually, because we have a conflict in our schedule. So we'll start this next week. And then Thursday morning is a touch point with James where he does some Q&A for brand partners. So if you want to join that, just 30 minutes if you have a quick questions that you want him to be answered. Sometimes he also goes over a certain topic depending on what he sees in the field. So that's our weekly schedule. Friday it's open, just wrap up day, because Friday is the end of the week where we want to make sure that we wrap up the week strong, because whatever you do by the end of Friday, you get paid the following Friday. So a lot of people use that time to wrap up the week strong. So that's kind of like our schedule. Again, you don't have to memorize it. We post this in the Warrior Movement announcement channel every single day. We just want to make sure you're aware of what the events are. But the most important one really is Academy on Saturday. Okay. And then when you scroll up all the way up, there is something called all links. So this button will take you back to the main links page. So if you're ever like lost when you're going through the steps, because there's multiple steps, just scroll all the way up and then click on all links, and it'll take you back to this like home page kind of that summarizes all the links. Okay. I'm not going to go over the rest of them, but if you want to know how to set up your smart link, go to step number 2, set up your subscription so you can stay commission eligible and qualify for the highest retail incentive. Step number 3, and then set up your direct deposit or e-wallet so you can receive your paycheck. And step number 5 is super, super important, because this is the one that actually helps you kind of like start the launch of your business. And this is the one where we go over how to download Boards, which is an app on your phone. You can also put it on your desktop. And Boards literally is kind of like all the resources and the message scripts and the social media posts and things like that. We have it all hosted in our Warrior Movement boards. I'll go over this in a little bit, but this is our board. So click on this one, it will add to your boards app, and then you can reference that with how, and then also goes over how to use it. So what I want to actually do is I would love to bring up Cindy. Let me find you.
Hi.
Hello. Let me find you and add you as a spotlight. Hello. Hi, Cindy.
Hi.
Well, thank you so much for
being.
So I invited Cindy because I really wanted her to share her experience launching in the business, because she's literally brand new. Like you joined what, like last week? Like
I joined a week ago and I launched on Sunday.
On Sunday. Yeah. So very, very new, right? And so
yes,
I would love to hear kind of like your mindset, because a lot of people, I think when they're starting something new and they're not familiar with, they're a little scared, right? And I'm like, that was me. I was, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, right? So what kind of got you over that mindset? You're like, okay, I'm just going to do it.
Well, what I needed to do, just for my own comfort level, is I needed to understand more about the product I was going to launch with, which was the drops, obviously. And so I spent a few days watching a lot of the videos and reading a lot. I actually read the clinical trials report because I like to know about data. I like to know about facts. This industry, the wellness industry, especially online, can be kind of shady. And I wanted to make sure this was the real deal, because I think every person that's ever tried to lose weight has fallen for a shady, scammy product. And I wanted to make sure it was the real deal. So I wanted to feel comfortable enough that I could comfortably and confidently say, this is it. And then by the time I was posting that, I had received my kit. Was starting the drops. I was already seeing my own results with that. And that too was also important to me. So my sponsor challenged me on Sunday to go ahead and launch. They could see that I had already done all of the other steps, that I had Telegram and I had set up my pay and all of those things. And oh, you're going to my Facebook page. I'm like, hey, there's my dogs. And picking out the graphic on boards, I know personally several people that are on injectables for weight loss. And I know they're having issues with it. They're complaining about availability. They're complaining about the cost. And I knew I wanted to have my launch notice have something about it's not a shot. That spoke to me. It's not a powder, it's not a drink. I've bought those drinks. It's not a pill. I've not taken, well, I did take some pills actually once to balance hormones, did not work. So I chose something that was specific to me. I understood why I needed to create it as an original post in Facebook instead of copying and pasting. And I was so determined to do that on Sunday. In fact, I had gotten confused. I had forgotten Boards was an app. I couldn't find those graphics. And I remember reaching out to my sponsor, Leah, and saying, you know, I'm frustrated. And she said, take a break. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to go take a break. And I took a break. I took my dogs for a walk. I came back, sat down and said, I'm doing it. And I did it. And I had it done in 5 minutes. And I absolutely was not nervous in posting it. I posted it and I thought, done, mission accomplished.
Yep, I love it.
Yes. And it probably sat there for about 30 minutes. The only people that commented or liked it were Leah and Tammy, which is my upline. And then it blew up. I mean, it blew up. And about 15 minutes after it started to blow up, I had my first preferred customer.
Amazing. I love it. I love it, Cindy. Thank you for sharing that. And you guys, like, my favorite part about, oh, there's so many favorite parts, but number one, I love that Cindy did her due diligence. See, a lot of people stop moving forward with something, but they're doing nothing about it. Let's say when people say like, oh, I don't know if the products are really good. Instead of actually doing research and asking for resources to look through the things that will give you the confidence, right? They just sit there. So what I love about what you did, Cindy, is you're like, you know, I want to make sure these are really high quality products. So let me find the information and let me actually do my due diligence and learn about it. And you took action. You didn't just like sit there and wait, right? So that's what I really, really love. And the second thing is, I think Tammy shared your post into our support Telegram chat room. And
yes, so, she did.
Yeah, so then all of us, right? So that's another thing, right? When you're launching in the beginning, you might need a little boost, right? You might need some credibility for your market. So what we did is a lot of us commented on it with our results and with our stories. And so when Cindy's market now comes to see it, they're like, oh, it looks like it's not just Cindy talking about it, but a lot of people are getting results. And now they're, you know, asking questions, right? And I also love how thoughtful you are at picking up this color block. And so what Cindy's talking about is in boards. So step number 5 was downloading your boards and creating a launch post. Once you have the Warrior Movement board, step number 1 is go to this pin post folder. And this is really, really important because you can actually do this. Like Cindy's not posting like, I lost 20 pounds, right? Like she just started. So she's not posting her personal story yet. But we created this color block post. That's what she's talking about. And what I just showed you is there's 2 things. And you'll hear this in the launch, in our day 1 launch as well. There's a little video that talks about it. Is there's actually these color block posts that you can choose from. So look through them and see which one resonates with you the most. And you can like, you know, tweak it a little bit, but don't tweak too much because there's a reason why they're worded a certain way. So we've literally, and it's not just James and me putting this whole thing together. Like, yes, we have 15 years of experience in the industry, but we've literally invested like multiple 6 figures in coaching, and we've worked with multi 7-figure earners in our industry and that are literally experts in putting our onboarding system together. So every single thing that we teach you is not only proven, but it's things that we've learned from other people as well. So it's not just our own personal experience, and we're not just like guessing that it would work. Okay, so these are the posts that Cindy's talking about that I just showed you her post. And one thing she mentioned is don't just copy down the image. So you want to use the actual color block functionality on Facebook because it will help with the algorithm. So you can copy the text and then paste it in the color block, but don't just save it as an image. And that's really, really key. And we also talk about that in the launch as well. And I also love the fact that you already got your first customer like within like the day, right? And that's really exciting because a lot of people, I know when I first started the business, I'm like, I don't know if anybody's gonna buy from me, right? Like, I don't really know much, right? So anything else you want to add to people that are, for people that are like, maybe haven't launched yet and they're a little scared, what would you recommend for them?
I would say my recommendation obviously is to just do it. I wasn't afraid to launch it until I was comfortable to know that I had enough knowledge I could answer the simple questions, and I knew I could get answers to the questions I wasn't sure of. But what I want to say to anybody that's sitting on the fence is I've been in multi-level marketing since 2011. So I've posted a lot of multi-level marketing images before in my Facebook group or on my Facebook page. But I have never had any response that even came close to the response that I got from posting that one color block image. When I say it blew up, it blew up. I've got one preferred customer. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a couple more. I'm hoping before Friday. And I have about, I would say, close to 20 prospects that I'm chatting with through Facebook Messenger. And every single day, people are continuing to post on my pinned post because that's what they're seeing. And so be confident that this is a kind of a universal issue. People want answers. I look at it that this is a time to offer solutions. And I personally had been looking for a solution for 10 years to treat my hot flashes and make them go away. And so be confident that you are offering a solution and the people looking for that solution will respond.
Yes, I love that. Thank you so much, Cindy. That's
You're welcome.
So cool.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, thank you for being here. I think that's just so much wisdom because how many of you have had experience in other companies and you posted a lot and you're not getting any responses, right? Like, I think that's so relatable. And that's why I'm, like Cindy literally is affirming to what I was just saying is like, we literally have done a lot of research to put these things together for a reason, right? Another thing that's very, very key is if you're not getting a lot of traction on your pin post, it's likely that we need to revisit. Okay, so day one assignment is we talk about the pin post, but it's the engagement sandwich, and everybody has different like Facebook, like it depends on how active you've been on Facebook, right? And social media is one of those things that it rewards being sociable. So like if you're social with other people and you're interacting with other people, then Facebook tend to want to show your posts to the people you're interacting with. So this engagement sandwich is very, very key. So even better, before you make your pin post, is to actually do the engagement sandwich. So what it means is, this video also talks about it, but it basically is go to 10 of your friends' posts and comment, like and comment, just engage, be a good human being, right? Love on them. And the more the merrier, really, because the more that, I mean, how many of you have posted something and then someone commented on your post and you're like, I don't know who that person is, or I don't remember them. And then you would go to their page and you kind of see what they're doing, right? And that's what they're doing to on your page. And that's why painting that post is important, because as Cindy is continuously marketing and launching and engaging with people, everybody that comes to her page are going to see that pin post, and they're going to see all the comments, and they're going to see, so that's so important to keep that pin post, there, right? So I had a question in the chat. Do you recommend updating a pinned post or leave the original one? So it depends. So if you feel like, oh, I didn't actually like this verbiage of my pin post and I want to like tweak it a little bit, if you already got some comments, I would leave the pin post, but you can edit it. So you can edit the verbiage, just make it say something that you resonate with more. And if you want it to flag a little bit more, you can actually put a testimonial in your comment. So it flags again, like a boost the post again. But before you do that, again, do the engagement sandwich. Go like comment and like people's posts, and then, you know, in their posts, in their stories, and then put your whatever results, let's say a transformation story, in the comment, and then go do the other side of the sandwich, comment and like 10 other friends posts, right? And this is just to clarify, obviously people that are not in the business, right? So comment and like on prospects, right? So I love that. And the second person I want to bring up is actually Monica. Let me unshare my screen so I can find you. Where are you, Monica? Oh, here you are.
I'm right here. Hi.
Hi, Monica.
Hi, everybody.
So Monica has been involved in the business for, I think, like 3 weeks. I think you joined 3 weeks ago, right?
Yes.
Obviously, first week, you're like, you know, you don't have your products yet. And one thing I really love about your story is how you got started in this business. So can you just share a little bit about like how you got here, how you found Partner Co?
Well, I got an email. It was late. I was just checking my email, and it was from James, and it was about I guess it was the call coming up and invited me to a Zoom call. And I thought, what is this? I never heard. So I started, there I went on Instagram looking at Wellness 360. It's the first thing that it led me to. And I just looked at all the posts about women dealing with hormone issues, which I was battling already in it 8 months, just awful, awful, awful. And I was like, hey, that's me. That's me. And then I got routed to a video. I don't even remember, but the first thing that stuck out was James saying, if you want to make 6 figures in 6 months, look at this video. Or I don't know exactly, but that's what drew me in. And I thought, okay, let's see. So I watched the video and I thought, okay, I need to see what this Zoom call is about. And I think Dr. Lorette was on there, Dr. Jody, Kim Wall was on there, and I was in tears, and I was like, oh my God, I love these people. This is so great. And it just, and the other thing was that it was natural. It was a natural product because I'm real big on, you know, what I put inside my body. So it was natural, hormone-free, plant-based. It checked all the boxes. And I said, I'm going to do this. So I was just so excited about the product, and I didn't even have it. But what stood out the most was the community. Like, you know, hearing people's story, you know, everybody on Wellness 360. It was just different culture. And I've been involved in some other markets in the past, and it just was different, and it felt right.
Yeah, I love her story. So if some of you might be a little lost on like, what email? Like, what is she talking about? Okay, so this is the power of our system. And I think a lot of people don't really truly comprehend that, because we've just recently implemented this around 6 months ago. So we've been in the industry for 15 years, and we've always done network marketing the old school way, right? Like, you message someone, you invite someone to see a presentation, and then you follow up with them every 48 hours. You give them a little bit of information, and you ask them, are you ready to get started? Right? So it's like a lot of following up. And one of the things that Cindy and Lindsay put together when they joined our organization back in January is they introduced this concept of the machine. So if you're hearing this term, the machine, and you're not familiar with it, what it is this is exactly the machine work, like in action, what Monica's talking about, because she's a complete cold market. We had no idea who she was. She didn't know who we are. We didn't know, we wouldn't, I wouldn't have commented on her post because we didn't even connect, right? So what happened was, in our boards, we also have an Instagram training as well. So after you launch, don't worry about this now if you're, you know, still going through the launch process. But after you've launched and you're like, really good at doing your daily DMOs, your daily methods of operations already, check out this Instagram folder because it actually teaches you how to connect with cold market. So Cindy and Lindsay did a really amazing training on Instagram Reels. And that's essentially how Monica connected with James, because James was posting these Reels. Okay. And then Larry, it's in our Warrior Movement boards. So when you open the boards app, it's right here, Instagram. And so what she did is she entered her information because, when we connect, the first link we sent to people actually I'll just show you in a message scripts, right? Once under drops pipeline, right? So let's say if someone liked your post but didn't comment, or you invited them, whoever, it doesn't really matter. But the first thing we say to them is we get them to this link, which is our machine link, wellness360.community, right? And we also say, hey, put who sent you here, so then you can be entered into a drawing. And because we want to incentivize them to put your name, so then we know who they are, right? Who they belong to. Mm-hmm. So, and it's also a required field, so they have to put somebody there. So this is the link that we sent to Monica, and she put in her information, and and then on the back end, she's getting emails. So one of the things that we do is for our prospect facing calls, we actually email out an invitation. So we email everybody that's in the machine, and we tell them, hey, there's this amazing call, and we basically edify and promote the call for you. I mean, of course, you should do it too with your own, like, people that but you might have hundreds of people and you don't really have time, or you can't keep track of all of them, right? So she got this email, and it was a call that was done by Dr. Lorette and Dr. Jody at that call. And then I remember James showing me, because Monica actually messaged James saying, hey, is there a replay, because I can't make that call, right? Like, I remember you, because right? Because when you saw that email, you're like, oh, I really want to make this call, but I can't make that time. But I think,
well, you know what I ended up doing? I canceled. I ended up going on live. So I had to weigh out what was important. So it was the best decision I made.
Yeah, because
go ahead.
Yeah, because he remembered, like, I think we were talking about, we're like, oh, like, yeah, there is a replay. So we told you there's a replay, but then we end up seeing you on the call live. You're like, I made it anyways, right?
Yeah.
And she was, yeah. And then once people put in this information, not only do they get the email out of the email is being sent to them, they also see this landing page, and the first video talks about the hormone balancing drops, but also the 6-figure in 6 months. So that's what we're referring to. Is so it kind of gives people exposure on the business side of it too. They don't have to do the business, but this we have so many people coming back to, literally, like, coming back to us saying, like, what's this business side of things? Like, they were just curious about the drops, because we post about the drops, we lead with the drops, and then all of a sudden they're like, they hear this video, like,
it's just enough to spark an interest. It's not too much, it's not overbearing, it's just like, what did he just say? So yeah, no, it was perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah, go ahead.
5 minutes, and then 4 minutes on the business. And if you scroll down, so other doctors. So this is something that Cindy would love, right? Because she's like, I need to know the products, the ingredients, and what it does. And then it has actually, it has more testimonials as well. It leads to our Wellness 360 community. We have another holistic doctor that talks about it. We have the clinical trials here. So everything is on this landing page, and in our automated emails on the back end, it also leads them back to this page if they closed it out or something. So every email has that at the bottom, and the call to action is always get back to the person, and then we'll insert your name in a dynamic field. So there's no purchase link, right? So no one's gonna steal anybody's prospect. It's just literally like we'll put their name and have them go back to you. And that's why we have so many people, and you hear over and over again our teammates saying this, like, I didn't even like do anything. This person reached out to me and saying, I'm ready to purchase now, right? So it just, the more people you put in the machine, the more they're gonna come out the other end, right? Yeah. And meanwhile, keep on following up on the friendship, right? Keep on being a good human being, love on them, connect with them, because then they will come back to you. They'll remember, oh, Kelly sent that link, I forgot to check it out, and I got this email. So, and then, you know, so that's how like human nature is, right? Like they're like, you know, I feel loved, I feel not being sold, and when they're ready, they'll get back to you. Right. I also want to hear, Monica, from you, because you have just been so consistent at every single training since you started. And I just love your attitude of like, because I just like, you know, I see you in your team chats, or you're just super excited, and you launched, right? You did your pin post, and you're following the 7-day launch, and you're constantly sharing the products. Share with us like your mindset, like on, because I know this is not the only thing you're doing, right? Like
yeah,
other things.
Yeah, trying to work too, trying to do regular work until, but I want to say this real quickly on the Facebook. I had Facebook before a while back, and I deleted it. So I just opened up a Facebook page probably a year and a half ago, because I was taking a course and had to get back on Facebook. I was like, oh, I didn't want to do that, but I did. And so I haven't engaged. So this is all like brand new for me. So I'm really like trusting the process. Like the mindset is, for me, is, you know what, I'm just trusting, I'm letting it go, and follow, because I mean, I'm watching other leaders do it, right? And it's I get a little impatient, you know, but I just kind of keep going. And I think for me, being plugged in helps. Yeah. Because everybody who's on here, you know, new or been in it longer, just has something. I learned something from everybody, you know, just now, Cindy, you know, learning from her, and it's great. So it's just the consistency, you know, it's the mindset. You just gotta be disciplined to the plan, because obviously it works.
Yep, I love it. So she did her pin post too, and she's, you know, she all same thing, right? Like getting buy-in questions, right? Like, I need this, sounds interesting, I need your help, what company, interested, right? So like you're seeing that we can continue to make, like, build on this, right? So like I was mentioning, if you want your pin post to continue to get exposure, add a testimonial from our boards folder, right? When you go to our social media folder, we literally have like hundreds of testimonials for you to choose. And you can just pick whichever that resonates with you, right? There's also more testimonials in this folder, but we also have the week 1, 2, 3 to help you follow along with the launch week, because in your launch plan, you're supposed to do the pin post, but also you're supposed to just have more exposure, right? Post some more transformation stories. And I love seeing that Monica is just constantly posting, right? Constant posting about transformations. So then people are like, okay, this thing is real, right? And one thing that I'll start adding is to add a personal post, so then people know that it's still you, right? So adding your, you know, family, fun, friends, inspiration, right? Things like that. So anything else that you want to add, Monica, like for our, because you got promoted to team lead, your first week, which is really awesome.
Congrats. I was so excited. I was so excited. I think the thing is, be consistent, is key, and be real. You know, I'm having so much fun with it, honestly. So it's actually allowed my my real personality to come out, which I like. Where I work is just so, you know, you have to be in another space. So this really allows me to be, you know, who I am, what I really care about, and show what my passion is. So, you know, just be real. People love it. So we just have fun with it. That's it, really.
Congratulations. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for giving us our insight.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I love it. And one thing I want to say too is do it messy. Like, don't worry if you're like, you know, like Monica said, she like deactivated her Facebook. Like she wasn't very connected, right? And some of us might feel that way. And you might come in, you're like, I'm like not a social media person at all, right? And you don't have to be, because the concepts are very similar, right? What's the concept? The concept is social media, it just kind of amplifies your reach, right? There's more people. You can do it in person too if you want, right? You can touch base with your friends, right? Be a loving person, right? And share the opportunity and share the product. And we have, you know, in our boards, we have in our message scripts, we literally have the process laid out for you. Like, what do you say to reach out to someone without sounding super salesy, right? And so now what do you do once you start getting these buying questions? Because, you know, we've taught you this, you know, like retraining your Facebook algorithm, and you're starting to get all these buying questions, and people are asking you, what do you do? Do you have to be a product expert? Do you have to know where everything is and answer all their questions, right? And the answer is no. We literally built all of this message scripts for you. So if you click on step number 3 under message scripts in the boards, there's there's really 3, but most people lead with the drops. Some people lead with the opportunity. Really depends on you. If you feel like your market sees you as like, you know, a business expert, and you feel like they'll attract you more, you can totally do the business route. And then we also have a renew. Some people lead with renew, but we've seen the most success right now with the drops. So when you click on the drops pipeline under message scripts, it literally lays out step by step what to say. So let's say if you've someone commented on your post, or you just liked your post, right? They liked the post but didn't comment. Let's say they liked your transformation post or something like that. This is a script you can send them. Thanks for liking my health post. Were you just supporting or interested in more information on drops? Very, very non-salesy and low pressure, right? Just asking, right? And let's say if they're interested, right? And you can say this one. Oh, great. Here's a video on the body balance and skinny drops, and send them the machine link. Make sure they put your name, right? And make sure you edit this. A lot of times we see people that don't really read and they're just sending it. Your name should be like Monica, right? Like put your name, so then they know to put your name into the machine, right? And then we also ask a question so you know when to follow up, right? When do you think you can see the video by? And the video is just, it's 9 minutes if they watch the whole thing, but the first 5 minutes is on the drops, right? After they watch the video, this is something that we like to follow up on is, are you more drawn to the skinny drops or earning more income? Because we assume they watched the whole video of all 9 minutes where it talks about the product the business side of it as well, right? And if they say just the drops, we have a just the drop scripts, right? And if they say business or they want to make money too, then you would take them to the make money pipeline, which is the other folder, and you just follow that scripts. But let's say we actually even have it built in where you upsell them to not just the drops, because one of the most powerful combination that we have on our products is the drops plus the renew. That's what we've seen actually the most results in people. And so we actually give them an opportunity to be exposed by renew. So we're not like, you know, vomiting on them, but we're saying, hey, you know, people are actually 10xing their results with something we call the dual. Do you want more information on it? So again, the scripts are here, right? And then let's say if they say the drops or the dual, whichever they want, send them the smart link and they purchase, right? And afterwards, we even have some follow-up scripts. What if they didn't buy, right? What do you say to them, right? And what if they ask questions? So we have a common objections and questions folder here. Let's say if they're like, does it work with my prescription? Are they FDA approved? Do you have to change your diet? You know, like, do you have to exercise? Like all these commonly asked questions are in here that you can help respond. And again, if it's not in there, right, feel free to connect with your support group, right? Or you can put it in the chat room too, and we can help you answer as well. And once they get started, there is even a follow-up support flow where once they purchased it, what do you say, right? This is where I was showing you guys initially is get them plugged in so they can be onboarded properly, right? Instead of you getting on the phone with them, telling them 24, like, you know, repeating yourself to like 100 customers on how to use the drops, send them this onboarding link, tell them to, you know, click on customer and then just watch the video there. And then they will be able to get all the resources, and it will also plug them into the Facebook groups if they have questions. So this would just allow you to have more leverage, right? So for most of us are doing this business part-time and you don't have all day, every day. So how do you build a significant business without having to be glued to your phone 24/7, without having to be, answering questions and repeating yourself. So leverage the tools, and the more you know it, right, the better you can help your people. And so that's what the purpose of Fast Start is. When you're, when you have new people, plug them in, right? And I think that's something that's really going to help all of us scale a lot better. So that in a nutshell is today's Fast Start. I think I answered all the questions in the chat, but if you have more questions, feel free to put it in our Telegram chat. Or I know many of you have incredible leaders and you have your team support chats. Utilize those, because that's so helpful. When you ask a question, other people are probably going to have the same question, and that's just really going to help all of us grow together, and we can impact millions of people's lives together, right? So again, this replay is in our Warrior Movement Facebook group, also in the Warrior Movement YouTube channel. So feel free to tag anybody and share it with anybody that needs to hear it, so they can just, get more visibility and understanding of the onboarding process. So other than that, I will see you guys hopefully on Academy. We're not going to have a Wellness 360 live tomorrow, like I mentioned, but hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow. On Academy. Feel free to unmute yourself and we can say good night or good afternoon, wherever you are.
Good night.
Good night, guys. Thank
Good
you.
job,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Have a good
Great job,
evening.
everyone. Good night.
Well done.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. Have a blessed night.
Have a blessed
Bye
night,
from Australia.
everybody. Thank you.
Thank you,
That
everyone.
was very informative.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
I do have a question.
Everybody. Oh, Amanda, can I
Yeah.
can I message you privately, because I'm still streaming?
Yeah, that's fine. That's totally cool.